Hey everyone, widdz here, and in today's video I have another assault rifle build when it comes to the Division 2. This is mainly focused around PvE, but I do think this one works really good for PvP and actually makes a lot of sense for it, so I will go through that as well in the video. And it is a gear set that I haven't used in quite some time, so it was pretty fun to use this one. And it's really tanky with really good damage. So the gear set I'm talking about is Heartbreaker. So as some of you veterans might know, this set used to be extremely good when it came out, but it is still really good. So we take a quick look at the gear set. So 2-piece is assault rifle and LMG damage, 15%. 3-piece is 15% weapon handling. Weapon handling being accuracy, reload speed, swap speed, and stability. And then of course the 4-piece where the magic happens, which is called Heartstopper. So headshots will apply a pulse for 5 seconds. So you want to try to hit the headshot first. There is other ways to trigger that though. You can use skills such as pulse. You can use a decoy. If they hit the decoy, they get pulsed, right? You can also use the specialization technician, and you can use the linked laser pointer, which will pulse the target when you aim at them. And there is a good combination with the Kingbreaker that have flatline, and then you use spotter for the chest piece. That is not the build I decided to run with though, because I don't think it's that hard to hit a headshot every 5 seconds, right? And I do prefer to aim for the head. But yeah, the talent. So weapon hits on pulsed enemies add a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% weapon damage to pulsed enemies. And this stacks up to 50. And you lose 2 stacks each second. If you are familiar with the striker, they are a bit similar in my opinion, right? And yeah, 50 stacks, but with the chest piece you get the 100, so we do want to use the chest piece. So if you combine this with a showstopper, I would definitely recommend to use the named one, rock and roll, because it have the 50% extra mag size. You get a bigger mag. And yeah, shotguns have 8 pellets per bullet, which means you will stack it hella fast, because every shot is 8 stacks basically if you manage to hit. So extremely good to use in combination. Since the first build we're gonna go through now will be PvE focused, we are gonna focus on crit, so critical hit chance and critical hit damage. So try to get a crit hit chance up to 60, around there, and then just put everything else to critical hit damage. I choose to run 4 blues here with 2 reds. You can of course change that how you like. You can run 6 blues and the damage will still be pretty good. But since it is PvE, I do prefer to run some reds as well. We'll go through the guns soon though, but yeah. In terms of exotic, I like to run Kafaris, really good mask, right? Which have the insanely good talent vicious cycle, right? So stack up to 30, so between stack 1 and 29, you will get 1% weapon damage. So at 29 stacks, you have 29 weapon damage. When you hit 30 stacks, then the skill will trigger. So you will trigger a purge that will remove all the stacks you have, but on top of that also take away all status effects, and also drop a healing cloud, which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds to everybody that goes into the cloud. So extremely good for survivability, but even damage. And since we are pretty tanky with this, we can take damage, right? Then I decided to run vigilance because we have a decent amount of blues. So the shield we have is gonna be really strong. You can see it tier 4. If you go 5 or 6 blues, even stronger, right? So you can just hide behind the shield and you will have vigilance up all the time. On top of that, we're also using Heartbreaker that gives you bonus armor. And if you have bonus armor and they damage you, you won't lose vigilance. So you have both the shield and the bonus armor kind of helping you keep vigilance up. So that is the reason why I think vigilance is so extremely good for this. And it gives you 25% multiplicative damage, right? So extremely good. In terms of guns, I do think for PvE that elmo is extremely good. It have really good weapon mods here with crit and mag size weapon, and like all of the weapon mods on this gun is just crazy. On top of that, you also do get the 100 shock ammo, which is extremely nice to have when you do PvE, because if you're shocking enemies, then they can't shoot back, so that gives you even more survivability, which is kind of the thing with this build. It's a tankier build giving you survivability, but on top of that giving you a lot of damage. And as a secondary, I prefer using a showstopper because it's an easy way to build up the stacks. Other guns you can use could be Eagle Bearer, also gives you a pretty good survivability with the tenacity. or you could use like a shield splinter, of course, really good as well. The options are really up to you. You can use whatever AR you want, to be honest, but I definitely would recommend the elmo in this case. In terms of skills, went through that earlier, but decoy is extremely good in PvE because that's another thing that takes away threat from you. And on top of that, when they hit the decoy, they get pulsed, which means you don't even need to hit them in the head. And then second, we have the shield. I mean, just increasing that effective HP. It is kind of annoying to run with a shield. I prefer to not play with it, but it gives you so much more effective HP, right? So I definitely think that is a good one. But of course, you can swap these out if you like. You could swap something out for like a revive hive. But if you're running this with like 5 or 6 blues, or even 4, like you shouldn't die at all if you don't play greedy. In terms of specialization, I think as usual, that's up to you. Gunner is pretty nice to run because of a faster reload time. Every third reload, right? Insanely fast. Decent armor kit giving you bonus armor, which in this case is pretty nice with the Heartbreaker. And then of course the 10% armor on kill, which is actually really nice to have. And rate of fire increasement on kill. I mean, really good to use for PvE. If you want to use another gun instead of elmo, maybe Kingbreaker, and do the flatline and spotter combo, you can use technician, and you can get the linked laser pointer to just pulse them. But really, it's up to you what specialization you want to play. I do think that covers everything when it comes to PvE. And if you want to run this in PvP, there is not that much that I would change. So first of all, of course, instead of specking crit, you would just spec headshot damage. So skip the crit chance and just go headshot damage and just become a headshot beamer. And if you really look at the set, it makes a lot of sense to play for headshot with. So you would go 6 blue for PvP, right? And in terms of guns, I would recommend to use bighorn, because that have insane headshot damage. Go to AR for headshot damage builds, right? So you would swap it to bighorn, right? Still use rock and roller just to stack, get the stacks in PvP. And now you actually do want to use the backpack here, because the backpack gives you, instead of 1 stack, you get 2. And that means you're gonna stack up the bonus armor, which is extremely good in PvP. Super fast, like double on top of what we already do, which is really good. So, and then the 5th slot, we're not gonna run 5-piece Heartbreaker. The last piece, it's kinda up to you. I haven't played this one yet in PvP, so you could do Picaro, get more survivability, and you get weapon damage. I mean, honestly, that's probably what I would prefer. I've seen people running Eagle's Grasp just for the mag size, which is working good for bighorn, right? And then you also get 15 weapon handling, which works really good for headshot damage build. So that's another way you could do it. But I think something along these lines is the way you want to do it. And in terms of skills, I would do decoy and defender drone. But I think that covers everything when it comes to PvP as well. And yeah, I think the PvP build actually looks really interesting, so I am gonna test that out a bit more. The video was really focused around PvE, because I think that's what most of you guys are interested in. But I thought might as well show you pretty quick how you can do it in PvP as well, because I like to combine multiple builds in one video instead of making multiple videos. I put them in one video, especially if they're similar or using the same gear set. And you can just go from that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. And you can find me live on twitch.tv/widdz, or you will see me in the next YouTube video.